Think you're building biceps the right way? Here's a truth that might shock you. Most people aren't. They're lifting, swinging, and straining, and thinking they're crushing their arms. But in reality, they're cheating themselves and risking injury. Today, we're going to fix that. We're going to transform your bicep curls from sloppy, inefficient reps into precise, muscle-building movements that actually work. Let's start by exposing the silent mistakes most lifters make. Have you ever noticed how many people swing their arms like a pendulum, jerking the weight up using momentum instead of muscle? Or maybe they lean back like they're about to take off in a rocket launch, thinking that heavier is automatically better. Here's the problem. When you do that, your biceps barely get the tension they need, and your shoulders, back, and even joints end up taking the hit. Your bicep workout becomes a recipe for aches, strains, and slow gains. Now here's a question for you. What if I told you that slowing down could make your biceps grow faster? Sounds counterintuitive, right? But it's true. The key isn't just how much weight you lift, it's how controlled, deliberate, and precise each curl is. Think of your arm like a lever. If the lever swings wildly, the force doesn't go where it's supposed to. The biceps are designed to lift and lower with control, and that's what we're going to focus on. Before we dive into the full breakdown, here's a quick teaser. Your stance, your grip, and even the tiniest shoulder movement all change the difference between a half-hearted curl and a fully engaged muscle-building rep. And yet, these are things most people completely ignore. By the end of this session, you'll know exactly how to lock in your body mechanics, so every rep counts. Let's layer this step by step. Start simple. Your feet should be shoulder-width apart, core tight, and shoulders relaxed, not shrugged up to your ears. Imagine your torso is a strong, rigid column, like the foundation of a skyscraper. If that foundation wobbles, the whole structure loses stability. That's why leaning back or arching your lower back, even slightly, takes tension off the biceps and transfers it to your spine and shoulders. Next, grip. Hold the dumbbells or barbell firmly, but don't crush them like a vice. Your hands aren't just gripping, they're communicating with your arms. Subtle changes here dramatically affect muscle engagement. Start with palms facing forward and elbows tucked close to your sides. If your elbows drift forward or flare out, you're recruiting shoulder muscles unnecessarily, and your biceps miss the work they deserve. Finally, let's touch on tempo. Most people rush through their reps like it's a race. But imagine lifting your coffee cup so fast that you spill it everywhere. That's essentially what happens to your biceps when you rush. The contraction phase should be deliberate, up in a controlled motion. Pause for a fraction of a second at the top and lower slowly. That pause isn't just dramatic, it's a mini light bulb moment for your muscles, forcing them to fully activate. Right now, take a moment. Think about the last set you did. Were your elbows drifting? Were you swinging? Did your core feel wobbly? Keep that in mind, because in the next segment, we'll dig into the intermediate adjustments that separate average curls from elite ones. And I'll show you exactly how to feel your biceps working like never before. Now that you understand the basics, let's step it up. This is where most people hit a plateau without even realizing it. You've got the feet planted, core tight, elbows tucked, but something still feels off. That's because there are subtle tweaks that separate okay curls from curls that actually sculpt your biceps. First, let's talk about elbow positioning. You might think keeping them tucked is enough, but are they truly locked in place? Imagine your elbows are hinges on a door. If they drift forward, backward, or out to the sides, the door swings incorrectly and the motion becomes sloppy. The result? Less bicep activation and more strain on your joints. The trick is to feel them gently pressed against your torso without letting them creep. A tiny forward drift or outward flare might seem harmless, but over multiple sets, it drastically reduces the efficiency of every rep. Next, the angle of your wrist. Many people curl with their wrists slightly bent backward or forward, thinking it doesn't matter. Here's the truth. A neutral wrist, aligned with your forearm, is like a straight bridge connecting force from your biceps directly into the weight. Twist it even slightly, and your forearms end up doing most of the work, while your biceps sit on the sidelines. A simple mental cue works wonders. Imagine you're pouring water from your hands without spilling a drop. Keep that alignment, and you'll feel your biceps firing in a whole new way. Now let's add a little advanced awareness to your motion, the mind-muscle connection. You've probably heard it before, but most people don't practice it. It's simple. Focus mentally on the biceps contracting as you lift. Picture the muscle fibers shortening, squeezing, and lengthening with each rep. This isn't just motivational fluff. Research shows that deliberate focus increases muscle activation significantly. In other words, thinking about the muscle isn't cheating. It's training smarter. Here's another aha moment. Don't rush the eccentric phase, the lowering part of the curl. Most people drop the weight as fast as possible, thinking the lift is the only part that matters. But the eccentric phase is where your biceps actually experience the most growth stimulus. Lower slowly, count 1, 2, feel the tension, and resist the urge to relax. That slow descent teaches your muscle to handle resistance fully and reinforces proper form. Let's contrast that with common mistakes. Swinging the weight, jerking the elbows, or leaning back to cheat doesn't just reduce gains, it invites injury. Think of it like driving a car with the steering wheel slightly off. You think you're going straight, but over time, the misalignment causes damage. Every uncontrolled swing or back arch is tiny stress on your shoulders, spine, and connective tissues. Meanwhile, your biceps barely register the work. Finally, let's touch on breathing. Many lifters hold their breath or breathe randomly. Proper breathing keeps your core engaged, stabilizes your spine, and improves strength output. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift. That rhythm isn't just a detail, it's a pillar of correct mechanics. Core, elbows, wrists, tempo, focus, and breath. These are the intermediate tweaks that transform a standard curl into a highly effective bicep builder. Take a second to reflect. Are your elbows drifting? Are your wrists aligned? Are you letting the eccentric phase slip by? By mastering these adjustments, you're no longer just curling dumbbells. You're sculpting your arms efficiently, safely, and intelligently. In the next section, we'll move into the advanced tweaks and small micro adjustments that separate even elite lifters from the average gym goer, showing you how to maximize every rep and truly feel the biceps working. Now let's take your bicep curls to the next level. The advanced tweaks that separate average lifters from those who truly sculpt their arms. You've mastered stance, grip, elbows, wrists, tempo, and breathing. Now it's time for micro adjustments that make every rep count like never before. First, let's refine shoulder engagement. Your shoulders shouldn't move forward or shrug during the curl. Think of them as silent partners holding the frame steady. If they creep or lift even slightly, tension escapes your biceps. A good mental cue. Imagine you're trying to gently pinch something between your shoulder blades while keeping your arm straight. This subtle control locks in proper form and isolates the biceps for maximum effect. Next, consider the range of motion. Many people stop mid-curl because it feels harder or quicker. Here's the truth. Partial reps are fine occasionally, but for real growth, full range of motion is king. Lower fully, without locking out the elbow, and lift all the way up, feeling the peak contraction. Think of it like drawing a complete arc in a painting. Skipping part of the stroke leaves the picture incomplete. Your biceps respond to the full motion, stretching and contracting efficiently, which is essential for strength and size. Now let's talk about subtle variations that increase intensity without adding more weight. Rotate your wrists slightly at the top, palms inward or slightly angled, to hit different fibers of the biceps. These micro adjustments stimulate growth in areas most people miss. Small changes, big payoff. Another advanced tweak is the concept of time under tension. Instead of rushing through 12 reps, slow it down. Lift in 2 seconds, squeeze at the top for 1, lower in 3 to 4 seconds. This controlled tempo keeps constant tension on the biceps, which is the real driver of hypertrophy. Think of it like stretching a rubber band slowly. The longer you apply tension, the more it strengthens. And don't underestimate the importance of mental feedback. During every rep, focus entirely on your biceps. Ignore the weight, ignore the mirror, ignore the timer. Feel the fibers working. Imagine each contraction weaving strength directly into the muscle. That connection isn't just psychological. It increases recruitment and makes your workouts far more effective. Now let's summarize the full curl. Feet shoulder width apart, core engaged, shoulders back and down, elbows locked against your sides, wrists neutral, full